Councillor Hill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to staff for this complex report. I guess my question today is really in relation to process and how this is going to get managed going forward. As this is somewhat a transitionary bylaw that's going to get us through until the IMP and the TMP are approved, and we're going to be going through DC bylaw reviews at that time to aggregate that information. I just want to confirm for myself and my ability to manage this oversight function that we're going to be able to have a bit more time at the front end to engage with staff on these complex issues. Because certainly today, I would very much like to have GOBA here and for me to be able to ask them questions about the letter that I received yesterday in regards to the evolving report that we've been going through over the last 2 months. It's been very challenging to be able to do that proper stewardship function in an environment where the information kind of seems to be changing on a regular basis. And I need to make sure that my vote aligns with what the best interest for the city is, so that we're not in a situation 2 months from now where we have a negative interaction with the federal government, as was aligned with some of the comments that we've seen over the last few days in the media from the minister's office. So I guess my question, to be specific, is will we have the opportunity going forward as we continue to discuss bylaw changes to the development charge process and the transportation master plan, the infrastructure master plan, to have these engagements with the stakeholders and the external folks and the staff, so that we're making these decisions in a way that we don't feel as though we're forced to make a decision despite just because on the 23rd it's going to expire.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. In the past, our process has been stretched out, so there was opportunity to consult, fully engage everyone. This year has been a little bit unique, so I do expect that for the next 2 amendments following the IMP and TMP, there will be more time for briefings with councillors, for engagement of stakeholders, so we will have that. And following the TMP, it will be the comprehensive review of the DC. So that will be a very important document that will take into all changes up to that point and rolled in. So we will continue with our typical more in-depth engagement.
I appreciate that, and I think given the fact that we're going to have some opportunities for some validation over the next, say 12 to 18 to 24 months, I will vote in support of this, although I'm not completely pleased with that process. I guess my follow-up question would be, and it was in regard to a point that was raised by one of my colleagues. We're looking at how this is growth paying for growth. We have some concerns about the definition of that. And we have some policy debate that's perhaps going to come up with regard to infill development versus expansion land development, and what that's going to mean in terms of our policies going forward and how that affects our DCs going forward as well. How confident are we at present that the current long-term land supply holdings that we have are adequate for the level of ambition that the City of Ottawa has for our housing plan?
Quite confident, because we have to comply with the acts on planning for growth and allowing that we have the land supply for growth, so that is there. The DCs are aligned with the official plan, because we have to look at the areas where growth is happening, so everything comes out of the official plan. So, and Council has approved that, and we had presented on that about the housing supply or the lands required for development. It's all set.
Do we have an anticipation for how Bill 185 and the potential for direct applications for land to be brought into the urban boundary is going to potentially affect that land supply?
I've sent the memo about the impact of Bill 185, not just on the DCs, but also on our land use planning policies and strategies. So if I think one of the, which we don't support, and we provided our comment, is that there could be third parties that could seek an expansion area, but that may not be aligned with our growth strategies where our services are provided, so it would be less expensive to support that growth area where staff have recommended versus some other location somewhere else that's not well connected. So that is a concern, and we have presented that comment back to the province.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor.